Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. We have a brand new character on the PTR and his name is Medivh. In today's video, we are going to be doing a very long, boring, drawn-out look at all of his abilities and all of his talents. And by the end of it, I'm going to try to have a build that you can use when Medivh is released on the live servers. If this does not interest you, then by all means, do not waste your time watching this video. You have been warned. Alright, everybody always likes to see their dances, so here you go. This is his dance. It's the fucking chicken dance. He just did the chicken dance. Oh my god. Okay, so Medivh, what is he? He's a ranged specialist. Why is he ranged? Because his auto attack is not melee. You can cast it from a distance. Well, I won't say most people don't know that, but some people still don't know why Abathur is a melee specialist. It's because, well, he walks up to things and slaps them. His auto attack is melee, so therefore he is a melee specialist. Anyway, he is essentially a character that is going to be 100% team reliant, and I mean that. Like, I'm trying to put a lot of emphasis on that. Some of the stuff that he does is going to be hard to test in this setting because, well, no, never mind. We could toggle an ally. But can we make the ally actually do what we want? Like, will he click on my portal? No. Okay. So Malfurion is going to be useless to us. So Medivh has a mount ability that's extremely unique. It is called Raven Form, as he should. And it allows him to fly over terrain. He is immune to taking damage while he's in this form. He's going to be granting vision to his allies while he's in this form. And there are several talents that he can select throughout the course of a game that will increase the, you know, quote-unquote effectiveness that this form has to offer. Very, very cool. Now, some stipulations to this. If you take some damage while you're trying to channel into your Raven form, it will be interrupted. Even when you cast your W ability on top of you, which we'll get to in a second, that still will always interrupt the Raven form. So it's not like Rhaegar, where all of a sudden you find yourself overextended and then you try to get into your mount form very quickly and run away. This is more of a very methodical, I'm going to go scout for my team. We're rotating to another side of the map, so let's go ahead, let's get in Raven form, and we'll meet my friends over there. Now, he doesn't gain any movement speed from this. Actually, he does 15%. Normal mount speed is 40%. But he can keep up with people in some situations just by going over terrain like this to get to the final destination. So that's his mount ability. It's pretty cool. His Q ability is Arcane Rift. Launch a rift that deals 399 damage at level 20 to enemies in its path. If it hits a hero, reduce its cooldown by 5 seconds and refund 30 mana. So essentially, this is Medivh's only damaging ability. The only one. And he can kind of fire it out here, and as you can see, when I hit Arthas with it, the cooldown is drastically reduced. It's supposed to be about 7 seconds. Well, not about. It's supposed to be exactly 7 seconds normally. Not very hard to hit, but very short range. You're going to have to chase after your enemy pretty far if you want to consistently deal damage with it. And keep in mind that it's pretty easy to overextend when you're using this ability. It is not really the best pushing tool either. While we were hitting Arthas with it, you know, it only has a 2-second cooldown, but the perfect scenario kind of has to be you hit Arthas and then hit the buildings and the minions behind Arthas as well, if you want to get a lot of pushing done with it. So all in all, as far as his only damaging ability, it's okay. His auto attack at this level hits for 143, and the spell hits for 400. So you could probably do just about as much auto attack damage as you could with the Q if you miss a hero. Single target, of course. So it's okay. I mean, there's some upgrades for it in the talent tree, but it's never going to be like, oh, you're Kael'thas, you're a mage, get out there and deal damage. It's not the intention of Medivh at all. His W ability is called Force of Will. I'm going to show you what it does really quick before I explain it. As you can see, we were protected from damage there, and as you can see, it's already off cooldown again. this has a 5-second cooldown, and essentially it's Uther's Divine Shield without the crowd control reduction. So Uther's ultimate is still better, his heroic ability is still better, because you can make someone completely immune to CC. This combos really, really well with like a mosh pit, for instance. You can make it so ETC is not going to be interrupted while the mosh pit is going on just by putting a Divine Shield on him and making him CC immune. We cannot do that with Force of Will. But what it can do is mitigate all damage taken for 1.5 seconds. So let's say you see your ally in a Flame Strike for Kael'thas, or you see an Azmodan dunk coming in. You simply put this on the target and they will not take any damage at all from that ability. Very hard to react in time in a lot of circumstances, but if you really stop to think about it, a lot of the really big damaging abilities in this game have very clear indicators that they're about to happen. So for instance, Pyroblast, you could see it coming from a mile away. Triple Tap, Precision Strike, the Pufferfish from Murky, Azmodan Dunks, Jaina, Proudmoore, Blizzard Radiuses, you know, things like that. Even the Sticky Mine, the Pulse Mine thing from Tracer, you can see that coming, and if you react fast enough, you can completely nullify that very important cooldown from the enemy team. It will take some getting used to, and it really is going to test the reaction time of the person playing Medivh. He is not a support that you can kind of, well, he's not even a support, he's a specialist, but you get what I'm saying. He's not the kind of character that you can just kind of sit idly by and get a free card, get a free win. It won't work. You have to be really on top of things. His E ability is so crazy good. It's called Portal. If I hold it down, you can see all these circles around me. What the fuck do these circles mean? We have the radius in which a portal can be cast close to me. So this is the inner circle. And then we have the outer circle radius for a portal on the outside. What is a portal? Well, let's put one down. Now that it's been cast, I can go from here to here and then back. Let's go ahead and reset the cooldown on that. It is, I believe, a 20-second cooldown. So, you know, let's say I want to use it a little bit more often. We could just keep going back and forth between the ends of this portal. And all of our allies can do the same thing as well. So let's say we're in a position where we want to chase down... I'm going to go ahead and turn off the cooldown. Let's say we're in a position where we want to chase down Arthas. We want to deal some damage to him. He's causing some problems. And boom, we're right here. Oh no, Arthas is winning, and we're back here. If your team has an Illidan on it, Illidan can basically secure any kill ever between the damage reduction and the portals. If you are losing a team fight, and you really need everyone to get the fuck out, well, here's your get out of jail free card. You know, they just have to click on it. One thing I was doing in my initial testing, I was able to play this character about a month and a half ago at the Ranked Play Summit. So one of the things I was doing is as my allies were running away, you just put the portal down in front of them. So you know, oh no, 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 no. And then they instinctively click on it without even realizing it's there because you put it directly in their path. So you can kind of do some things like that. So let's say I'm running this way, right? Let's assume I just drop this down in front of the person. You know, you kind of just channel on it on accident, and you can, I mean, you control the fuck out of your teammates with that. You can make their life a living hell, but you can also save them and have a very meaningful impact on the game with it. So that's his kit. That's his base kit. Let's go ahead and take a look at his heroic abilities. This is Polybomb. Polymorph hero that spreads to other heroes. So this is what it looks like. We turn Arthas into a sheep. You can see the radius around Arthas here. If he had an ally, if there was someone on the enemy team that was also standing in this radius, they would also be polymorphed at the end of the duration. The polymorph itself lasts for 2 seconds, so this essentially is a targeted 2-second silence. And again, if any other enemy heroes were in this radius, they would now be polymorphed as well. It does have a 40-second cooldown, so it's something you can actually use a ton. But out of the two ultimates, this is the one that I found to be the weakest. In the preview, it looked like it would be amazing. But again, look at the radius here. Look at the duration of the timer ticking down as I cast it on Arthas. Both are incredibly noticeable. And you can just take a quick... It's like 2 steps to get out of this radius. You can easily do that in a team fight. Now, granted, Arthas himself can move around in here as well. He's not restricted to that one spot. But the odds of you catching 2 or 3 people in that polymorph, it's not looking too good. There will be situations where it happens, don't worry, and everyone will go, oh my god, that was amazing, did you see that polybomb? But the odds of it actually being super successful are not very high. Now, that being said, a targeted fucking 2-second silence on a 40-second cooldown is crazy good. If Lily was going in for her jugs, boom, interrupt every single time. And has a pretty respectable radius too, or cast range. So you could just kind of interrupt a Lily whenever the fuck you feel like interrupting a Lily. And other channeled ultimates as well. I mean, you're looking at a pretty good time. So it does have its place, although myself, I prefer the other talent. At least I did in my initial testing. So the other one is called Leyline Seal. I'll show you what it does. So it has a pretty good cast range. I would say this is pretty similar to a Shock and Awe on Falstad, the Hinterland Blast. And then we cast it. That is a skill shot void prison. Skill shot void prison. Okay, that's not its cooldown. Its cooldown is normally 80 seconds, so double the cooldown of the polybomb. But very, very good. Very, very good. It will take some getting used to, and I do think that it's not really feasible to try to aim for someone at the end of the skill shot line. But I mean, stuff like this, not that hard to catch Arthas and set up some good damage on him while he is caught in a stasis. Also, it has an upgrade later on that allows you to redirect it. So essentially, well, I can just show you the upgrade now, I guess. So this is Medivh cheats. Essentially, we could cut a team in half. So let's say they have a Lily back here, or some high priority target back here that we can't quite get to, but we need them to shut the fuck up. Well, essentially with this, you can do whatever the fuck you need to do to get to that hero. You can cut this however you want to get to that hero. And it's pretty fucking cool. It is pretty fucking cool. I really don't know how strong it's going to be, considering it is quite the skill shot. Maybe Polybomb is going to be a little bit more reliable than I was first suspecting. But if you can land this properly, if you can cut a team in half with this, it could be crazy strong. And I've seen it be crazy strong already, even in our initial testing. So, talents. Level 1, Mana Adept. Increases Arcane Rift's mana refund for hitting enemy heroes by 100%. It refunds 300, or excuse me, my god, it refunds 30 mana normally, so we're going to get more of a return on our Q. I don't recall him having a lot of mana issues, though. I'm just going to put that out there to start with. I don't recall that being a thing. Then we have increased portal duration by 50%. Medivh can manually place the portals. I'll show you what that looks like here. So let's say you want the exit to be here, or that's the exit, and for some reason you want the entrance over here. You could do that. I don't quite understand why. Like, what are the practical applications here? Oh shit, there's someone there. I mean, you can bring them away from you. It just seems like it's gonna take a lot of time. I guess that's my main concern. It seems like this is going to take a while to set up. Let's go ahead and turn cooldowns off again. But, I mean, I guess not really. But why would you want the portal to be away from you, I guess is my thing. It's not like the enemy team can use this. It's not like you have to worry about them jumping in on you after. Maybe if, well, maybe it's this. Let's say you're down here doing something, and you see someone above you, like they need your help. I mean, you could do this. That works. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that working. Okay. The other talent at level 1 is Raven's Intellect increases Medivh's mana regeneration by 100% when we are in our crazy overpowered Raven form. So that is definitely a thing that we could do. Out of the starting talents, I would say the portal ones are going to be the strongest. Actually, I would actually say Portal Mastery is probably the one I would go with, just because of the increased freedom that it gives you. You don't necessarily have to be babysitting your ally in order to help them in this particular situation, and I like that. I like that a lot. Level 4, we have 3 talents to choose from. Mage Armor. Allies gain block the first time that they use the portal, reducing damage taken by the next 3 enemy basic attacks by 50%. I thought this would be really overpowered, but it's only the first time they use the portal. So I was thinking of scenarios where you could get block, go in and trade, jump back, go back again, get block, go in and trade. But no, that's not going to be the case. Bird's Eye View increases Raven form vision range or Dust of Appearance. Dust of Appearance is essentially an oracle from Tassadar. It just grants vision immediately around your character, and then it will travel with you. I guess I could show you what it looks like. So it just grants vision right around us, and then you can see the vision kind of stays. Or does it reveal? Hold on, we need to test it. We need to test it. I'm pretty sure it travels. So I won't have vision of this if I walk away. Yeah. So it's just for like spotting stealthies and shit. So if they don't have stealthies, don't take this talent. If they do, go ahead, sure. Otherwise, I think I would recommend Bird's Eye View. So this is the range normally. Pretty small. Let's camp out right here. And then Bird's Eye View. Still pretty fucking small. I thought they made this like a lot better. I think this was nerfed from when I was testing it. Oh well. Just makes your vision range a little bit better. Based on that, actually, since this was fucking nerfed, I totally body blocked myself there. Just get fucking mage armor. Oh, no. That's what it is. There's an activate. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's it. That's it right there. So you can reveal a massive area on a 30-second cooldown. That is worth it. That is worth it. I take it back. Take this talent. It's really good. Especially on maps where you're going to be contesting a central objective. Like on the Battlefield of Eternity. This would be great. But of course, if they do have a lot of auto attack damage, then Mage Armor is pretty good. If your team's willing to click on a portal. Alright, level 7. Arcane Charge. Arcane Rift deals more damage after hitting a hero. When Arcane Rift damages a hero, increase the next Arcane Rift damage by 25%. That's a pretty nice damage output increase. We have the Master's Touch. Hit 35 enemy heroes with Arcane Rift without dying. Without dying. Permanently increase the damage dealt by 100 and the cooldown duration for hitting a hero by 1 second. Arcane Explosion. For the first time, Force of Will absorbs damage. It will deal 417 damage at level 21 to nearby enemies. And then Raven Familiar. A Raven Familiar joins allies that use a portal. The Raven will dive at the ally's next basic attack for 260 damage. Okay, so we're going to have to do some testing in this one. The Master's Touch seems like it's going to be pretty easy to do. Keep in mind, this only has a 1 fucking second cooldown when you hit a hero with it. So while you're in the laning phase, level 7 would still be the laning phase. You can just pick this up and then focus on landing this and trying not to die. If you do die, you have to start all over again. But it should only take you a minute or two to really get this damage out. This is with normal cooldowns on, by the way. That's just how fast you can cast the ability. Now, if you're going for this, maybe Mana Adept at level 1 would be a little bit better. But, I mean, I guess it all depends what your comp in lane is. Like, if you're going against 2 ranged assassins, this is going to be pretty hard to land. If not, I would say go for it. Try to get that damage increase. Our other options here are using the portal grants a Raven Familiar. Now, I am interested to see, like, just what we can get out of that. So let's use the portal. And then we get bonus auto attacks. Is it only the first time? I think it's only the first time. Yeah, let's test it again. Yeah, and the problem with this is if you're not immediately moving as well, both of those times I auto-attacked a minion on accident. Yeah, that doesn't seem worth it at all. Although it will give this to allies as well. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get that one. So that leaves us with Force of Will deals area damage and Arcane Charge. When Arcane Rift damages a hero, the next one deals 25% more damage. This one's probably really good because it's not hard to do. You can like do some pretty consistent damage output with it. However, if you're going for the 100% utility, which I think is going to be really good if you have dive characters on your team. So let's talk about Sonya, Thrall, Illidan, Zeratul, even warriors like a Chen. Giving them Arcane Explosion can really increase the amount of damage that they deal when they dive in. 400 damage is not bad. So just every time we cast our W, keep in mind our W has a 5-second cooldown. When we take damage, we're just gonna blow up for 417 damage, again at level 21. I can see this one being very good if you're on a coordinated team, but that's honestly what I find myself wanting to say a lot with Medivh. Yes, this would be good if you're on a coordinated team. But yeah, give it to your assassin when he goes to dive in. If he takes any damage, all of a sudden he just dealt more damage. It's kind of hard to see the value versus, you know, an Arthas who has like 5,000 health right now. But, I mean, a Vala, who's really, really prominent in the meta right now, Jaina, Tracer, Li Ming, Kel'Thas, that's a lot of damage. 400 is a lot of damage. So, we might go with that. If we're just relying on ourselves, I would go between either of the arcane talents here. The Raven one just doesn't seem worth it in any capacity. All right, level 10, the one I like more is Leyline Seal, the significantly easier one to use, and the one I would pick versus a Lily or a Morales or anything like that would have to be Polybomb. So, whatever your preference is, I really do think they're both good. Now, level 13, Quickening reduces portal cooldown by 50%. Portal has a very long cooldown, so that could be quite good. The cooldown of Portal won't necessarily be what makes Portal good, though. It's the situation you find yourself in. So maybe having it ready a bit more often would be better. That being said, Portal range is really, really good. So this is the normal range from me to Arthas here. Let's go ahead and increase the range again. So we'll start with me, and now I can go all the way over here. Imagine how many kills this can secure. Imagine if your team is clumped up here, you know, you ping everyone right here, you tell them that you're gonna lay down a portal, and then you put the first one down at your feet, and the second one down over here, and then boom, gank happens. You're there, you're dealing damage. That's strong. So I think the portal range increase is gonna be the way to go for me. Then we have Circle of Protection. Force of Will shields allies near the target. Seems good. The thing I would love to test with this in particular is, does it also gain the explosion? Because if your team is clumped up, let's say you have an ETC, an Illidan, and a Thrall all going in at one time. I don't know why you would have 3 melee on your team. Boom! One shield, they all absorb damage on top of that, and then they all deal 400 damage? Guys, that could be fucking incredible. What I think I'll take in most situations, though, is going to be Enduring Will. Increases the duration by 33%. So it has a 7-second cooldown. It has a 1.5 second activation time. Or excuse me, a 5-second cooldown. 1.5 seconds. So you can cast it a lot already. And then we can increase the duration. What does it make it, 2 seconds? That's not a lot of downtime on this thing. I think that's the one I'll go for in most situations. Although Circle of Protection could be very, very good as well. Now, Reabsorption, let's talk about that really quick. I don't think that'll be worth it in most situations. Because think about how you're using the ability. You're throwing it out a lot to mitigate incoming damage on targets that are being focused. It's going to be very rare that you see a massive spell coming in, like a Pyroblast, that you can just stop. I mean, there will be situations like that, and this spell shines in situations like that, but that's not going to be the whole game. You're probably going to do that 2 or 3 times throughout a match, and it's going to be really good and satisfying, but it's not the whole game. And reabsorption really rewards you for those moments, but doesn't really reward you for just trying to mitigate a little bit of damage here. So what it does is, upon expiring, Force of Will heals the target for 50% of the damage absorbed. Versus this Arthas, when, you know, in testing here, when I was trying to get him to trade into me, I was only healing for like 50 fucking hit points. And I think that's going to happen more often than not. I don't think it's going to be that good. But again, this is also something that's hard to test in a scenario like this. And maybe, you know, more testing in real matches will show some different results. But I think Circle Protection or Enduring Will, for me personally, is going to be the way to go. I didn't even take any damage there. The minion wave won't even hit me. There we go. Level 20. This is when things start to get really interesting. I think he's going to have the most diverse set of skills at level 20. Like, for real. So, let's just start from the top. Polybomb spreads faster and farther. Polybomb explodes 1 second sooner, and the spread radius is increased by 25%. This can make Polybomb better. I will say that. This can make Polybomb a lot more desirable. That is a big radius, and it's incredibly likely that this is going to chain multiple times. Because, I mean, like, look at that. It's crazy. Now, are you still silencing them for 2 seconds, or are you still silencing them for just 1 second now, and then hoping that the Polybomb spreads? I don't really know. You're going to get a couple people at this. Will it bounce back to the original target? So let's say this caster, let's say this archer minion, because the caster is about to die, is another hero. So then it would bounce to the archer, then it would bounce back to Arthas, and bounce back to the archer, and bounce back to Arthas, as this continues to be reset. Now, will they spread out in the time necessary to keep that from happening multiple times? Yeah, probably. So, if you're reducing your silence time, is that worth it? I don't know. But it looks really fucking good. Like, I could see this being crazy good in a lot of team fights. I will say, like, whenever I talked about this at the event, people were like, but Living Bomb spreads all the time. The thing about Living Bomb is, it's just kind of a fire on your chest. It can be hard to see in a chaotic team fight. This will not be hard to see at all. The 1 second duration makes it very likely that it will spread at least once, but the value of this is going to change on a game-to-game basis, 100%. So you've already seen Medivh cheats. That's where you can throw out the ley lines and then redirect it again. The value of that is going to change on a game-to-game basis, and it's going to take a lot more skill to land that properly. So if you're just getting into Medivh, I still think the polymorph is going to be the way to go. It's a 40-second cooldown. You can just throw it out all the time, and it can have a very big impact on the game, especially if people fucking stack up and just keep spreading it over and over. We'll go ahead and reset talents again. Area damage, polybomb, portal range, enduring will. Now, Guardian of Trisval. Minions and catapults hit by Arcane Rift are instantly killed. This is a split-pushing tool. Excuse me. It's a split-pushing tool on a character who can get out of trouble really easy with his portals. You know, you could do this, get into Raven form, and then you're completely immune to damage, and you can just run away. The downside to this is that it will be a 7-second cooldown. But essentially, I mean, I should just be able to clear this wave. Wave done. Does that count? Does that give me full siege damage for that? That's like, that would actually be interesting. So you can stack up a minion wave very, very quickly, push into the enemy team with it, and have quite a big impact on them. We don't even get the siege damage for that. Our siege damage was exactly the same. Do I really think it's that good though? No. The only scenario I would take this is if I'm back at our core. You know, I'm back here. And shit is going down. Minions are pushing in on all sides, and I'm just trying to clean it up. Now, you will get the full cooldown here. You will get the full 7 seconds. that the ability has when you don't hit a hero. But you could save a core with that. But I'm saying that's about the only time I would take that talent ever. I don't really see its usefulness in most situations. Let's go ahead and reset talents again. I should get pretty fast at this by the end of this video. I usually do. Do I pick the second talent the whole way through? Oh, no. Okay. Arcane Brilliance. Grant ability power and mana to all allies. Activate to instantly restore 200 mana to all nearby allied heroes and grant them 10% ability power for 10 seconds. Now, you might say that this is only good with mages, but ability power is good for some auto attack heroes too, like Thrall. Sonia's spear could hit harder. Her leap could hit harder. You're essentially just buffing everyone around you. Only for coordinated teams with everyone on voice comms where you can go, I just use Arcane Brilliance, let's go, let's burst them down. Very, very wombo combo-y. Could be good in a duo queue. Let's say you're playing with Li Ming and she does her full burst combo. You could do a shit ton of damage to an enemy team with it. But again, it's going to take that kind of coordination that you won't really be able to do in solo queue. And then invisibility. Stealth an ally hero for 20 seconds. The charge cooldown is 10 seconds. So you have 2 charges. Let's go ahead and turn off cooldowns. So we can just give ourselves stealth and then walk around. It will break whenever we use abilities, but we can stealth into a portal. We could do that. It has some potential. It could be really good. Theoretically. Oh shit. No. No, Arfis, go away. Eh. Dude, that's never gonna get old. That's so fun. I can see its uses. I don't know how good it is. I mean, imagine just stealthing an ETC and then that ETC going in for a mosh pit on characters that didn't even know he was there. That's a 20-second window that he has to kind of set up for that, you know, kind of creep around the outside, get ready for it. Especially when Medivh is new, if you're giving stealth at level 20 and you don't already have a Zeratul or a Nova on your team, they're not going to be looking for fucking stealth. They're not going to be looking for it at all. That being said, I think the strongest of the talent is going to be the upgrade for, or the strongest level 20 talent, let's put it that way, is going to be the upgrade for whichever heroic you picked at level 10. In most situations. Invisibility has its place. Arcane Brilliance has its place. Guardian of Trustfall, I think it's a little bit less so. But I can see its usefulness in the right situation. But that is Medivh. He is the most team-reliant character that has ever been added to this game. Hands down, without a doubt. He will not be able to win very many trades by himself. The enemy team can just jump on him and deal a ton of damage, and there's not too much he can do about it. You are setting your team up for success if you are playing Medivh. And I hope you understand that. He is not a carry. He is not meant to do everything by himself. Very, very, very reliant on a team. The other thing I would say about this this upgrade of the Guardian of Trustfall that makes it even more situational. Like, again, you're back here at your core. They're coming in 3 different directions, and you're trying to defend. That's the only time I would pick it up. Because, well, let's wait for the next minion wave, and I'll show you exactly why. Look how much damage I can do to the fucking minion wave with just a normal Q. That's not even talented anywhere in my build. I killed the mage, and then we can kill the archers in 2 auto attacks. That doesn't take a very long time. And if we hit a hero at the same time, well, they're all just dead anyway. I really don't think it's that good. Oh, the jukes, though. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my very long, very drawn-out look at Medivh. He can be a fantastic, like, incredible character in the right hands. But you guys are definitely going to have to work with him if you want to reap the benefits of Medivh. He is a very selfless character. I am glad that they added in the role here the amount of healing done by allies, or the amount of healing done to allied heroes. I'm very, very glad they added that in, because I was a little worried that no one would actually be able to see how much damage he is mitigating, which is, you know, the backbone of his kit. But that's a step in the right direction. I'm pretty happy with that. I made a very long Reddit post about it, so I'm glad it got a little bit of attention. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to jump into a match with Medivh sometime soon, although I am going on vacation at the end of the week just because I need a weekend away. I need a weekend away. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back soon with more Medivh, and I will see you all next time.